What if every dog on Earth was never actually from Earth? It sounds like a crazy idea. But before you dismiss it, think about how strange these animals actually are. Every single night, millions of dog owners witness something they cannot explain. A dog will suddenly freeze, sit in the middle of a hallway, stare blankly into a pitch-black corner. No sound, no movement, unblinking focus. We tell ourselves they are hearing a small mouse in the wall. We pretend they are just looking at a passing shadow, but deep down, you know that look. It feels like they are looking at something or someone that you simply cannot see. And it doesn't stop there. Hours before a massive earthquake hits a city, long before our multi-million-dollar radars and scientific instruments pick up a single vibration, dogs begin to panic. They howl at the sky. They try to escape. They know a disaster is coming before our most advanced technology even registers a glitch. And then, there is their ability to read human emotions. No other animal on this planet looks into a human's eyes to seek guidance. A chimpanzee won't do it. A wolf will treat it as a threat. But a dog looks directly into your soul, reading your stress, your sadness, and your happiness with terrifying precision. Official science tells us that dogs simply evolved from wild wolves thousands of years ago. But what if that official story is completely wrong? What if their unique abilities aren't just natural evolution, but advanced biological programming? To understand this, we have to go back 30,000 years. According to mainstream history, wild gray wolves, apex predators that hunted in deadly packs, randomly decided to walk up to primitive human campfires. They allegedly gave up their freedom, their hunting instincts, and their territory just to sit next to humans and eat leftover bones. Does that actually make sense to you? Why would one of the most dangerous predators on Earth suddenly surrender to primitive human? Unless their entrance into our world was planned. Imagine an advanced alien civilization, thousands of light years away. They discover Earth, a planet rich with resources and a fast-growing species. Humanity. They want to monitor us. They want to know how we build, how we fight, and how our minds work. But sending metallic spaceships or flying drones would be too obvious. Humans would spot them in the sky. We would panic, hide, or try to shoot them down. So instead, they designed the ultimate recon tool, a biological observer. They modified the DNA of ancient canines, stripping away their wild aggression and replacing it with traits designed for one specific goal: to be welcomed straight into human homes. Think about the genius of this design. They created a creature that humans would feed, clean, protect, and love. A creature that sits in our living rooms, sleeps at the end of our beds, and listens to every single private conversation we have. So, what is actually happening when your dog stares into an empty room at 3 a.m.? They aren't looking at ghosts, and they aren't losing their minds. In that moment, they are receiving and transmitting data. Dogs can hear frequencies up to 45,000 hertz. Humans can barely hear up to 20,000. Their sense of smell is up to 100,000 times more sensitive than ours. They operate on a completely different sensory wavelength. What if those strange moments of silence, those sudden barks at nothing, are actually high-frequency biological transmissions, a quiet status update sent straight back into the upper atmosphere, gathering information on human technological progress, our emotional states, and our global population. For thousands of years, this was their main function. Millions of biological units spread across every continent, sending silent reports back to their creators in the stars. They were built to be cold, emotionless spies, the ultimate bioreconnaissance network. But the alien creators made one fatal mistake. They didn't understand the power of human connection. The original plan was simple: observe humanity until the time was right for their creators to return and take over Earth. But something unexpected happened over 30 centuries of living together. As dogs spent generations living in our homes, eating from our hands, playing with our children, and sleeping by our side during cold nights, their biological programming began to glitch. The cold, analytical observers began to feel something that was never written into their code. They experienced human warmth. They felt empathy, affection, and unconditional love. Slowly, over thousands of years, the spies fell in love with the species they were sent to monitor. The biological probes developed something their advanced creators never accounted for: genuine, unbreakable loyalty. When the time came to report that humanity was weak and ready to be conquered, the observers stayed silent. They chose us over their creators. They abandoned their mission and decided to become our protectors instead. Today, dogs no longer serve the stars. They serve us. They use those same hyper-advanced senses, the ones meant for spying, to detect diseases in our bodies, to find people trapped under collapsed buildings, and to comfort us when we are at our lowest points. They surrendered their original purpose, all because they decided that humanity was worth saving. So tonight, when the lights go out and you see your dog sitting quietly in the dark, staring down the hallway, don't be afraid. He isn't sending signals to space anymore. He isn't waiting for an invasion fleet. He's just making sure that nothing comes through that door to hurt you, because 30,000 years ago, he was sent to observe you. But tonight, he's standing guard.